Hi, this is Stories to Fall Asleep or in Love To. I'm Jo, known as the traumatized poet on social media, and I've written these stories both as a coach and as an artist to help you understand what it's like to truly be loved, seen, cared for, and fought for. I record these episodes in my cupboard. The only witnesses are a teapot named Cliff, and now you. I hope you settle, I hope you can relax, and I hope you sleep tight. Enjoy. She's sitting on the couch, legs tucked under her, arms wrapped tight across her chest. He's standing near the window, hands in his pockets, trying, again, to understand what wall he keeps running into. He's tried everything: gentle questions, space, laughter, poems, presence. And still she doesn't let him in. Not the way he's asking for, not the way he needs. The silence is sharp now, not peaceful, just full of things neither of them have found the courage to say. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, he says softly. His voice doesn't have an edge, it has a tremble. She glances at him, then away. You're not doing anything wrong. Then what is this? He gestures between them. You keep me at a distance and call it closeness. I tell you how I feel and you nod or disappear into your head. I keep reaching, and it's like I can't touch you. She looks down. She wants to speak. She doesn't. He moves closer, slow like he always is, never pushing, just hoping. Babe, he says, barely above a whisper. Talk to me, please. She manages only a few words. I don't know how. And that's when it hits him. His breath shakes, his eyes well. He steps forward and, before she can move or flinch or run, he gently presses his forehead to hers and whispers, cracked, I love you, but I can't keep loving someone who won't let me reach them. She doesn't move. She freezes. He pulls back just enough to look her in the eyes. And now he's crying, quietly, honestly. I can't do this anymore. Not if you don't let me in. I don't want to walk away from you, but I can't stay in a space that never opens. He stands there, forehead still almost touching hers, waiting one last time. Not for perfection, not for easy, just for honesty. She doesn't answer, not because she doesn't want to, but because the words are lodged too deep, behind old betrayals, past ghosts still guarding the door to her softness. He waits, she stays still, and in that stillness the decision makes itself. He pulls back slowly, hands falling to his sides like they've just realized they are not welcome anymore. He doesn't yell, doesn't beg, just looks at her, really looks. And this time, it isn't with hope, it's with goodbye. He steps back once, twice, grabs his coat from the back of the chair, opens the door, and before stepping out, he turns one last time. His voice low, broken. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be here. I wish you'd believe I could handle your truth. And then he leaves. The door closes, not loud, just final. And she sits there, breath shallow, arms still crossed, not because she doesn't feel it, but because she feels everything. The silence is a scream now, but it's hers alone. A quiet cafe, late afternoon, 3 weeks later. They haven't spoken, not since he left her apartment, with the weight of her silence sitting between them. Not since he looked at her with tears in his eyes and said he couldn't do this anymore. She's been telling herself it's better this way, that he deserves someone softer, more ready, less guarded, but still, she thinks of him every day. And now here she is. She is just grabbing a coffee, trying to work, trying not to spiral. She steps into the cafe, familiar, warm, full of soft music and the clink of spoons. And then she sees him, back corner by the window, wearing that coat she always liked. He's not alone. There's a woman sitting across from him. She can't hear them, but they're leaning in, speaking in low tones, laughing at something small. She's holding a mug with both hands. He reaches across the table and gently presses his fingers over hers. It's not a kiss, not intimate in a cinematic way, but it's something. It's tender and before logic can catch her, before she remembers she's supposed to be healed, composed and untouched, her hand jerks. The coffee slips, hot liquid spills across her wrist, onto the floor, the counter, the sleeves of her coat. She gasps, drops the cup, and the ceramic hits the floor with a sharp crack. Hot coffee splashes across the tile, across her coat and her hand and her fucking day. A quiet hush falls over the cafe. Eyes turn, a few people flinch, she freezes, and then her instinct kicks in. She crouches down, frantically beginning to pick up the charts with her bare hands. "I'm sorry," she muffles, eyes wide, breathing too fast. "Oh God, I didn't mean, let me help." A barista rushes over, eyes kind but firm. "Hey, please don't. It's okay. You're going to cut yourself." "I'm fine, please. I spilled it. I should." "Hey, really? Don't worry. We've got it." The barista squats down and gently touches her wrist. She nods, eyes glassy, hands shaking now. She stands too quickly, bumping into a chair, and that's when she glances up. And he sees him, at the back of the cafe, frozen, watching. He doesn't move. He stands, but he doesn't go to her. He doesn't say her name or calls after her, but his expression is unreadable, part stunned, part shattered. She meets his eyes for 1 second. Too much, too raw. Her chest seizes, her gut caves, and then she runs, out the door onto the street. Her boots splashing in a puddle, her hands still burning, her face hot with something that feels like shame, but it might just be grief. She doesn't even know where she's going. She just knows that she saw him, and in that second, every poem, every journal entry, every imagined conversation collapses inside of her. She doesn't know if it was a date. She doesn't know if the woman means anything. But he's moved forward, and she hasn't, and now the silence isn't protection, it's punishment. She stops under a tree, rain starting again. She presses her palm to her chest, like she's trying to hold something inside that's already spilling. And for the first time since he left, she says it out loud. "I should have told him." Her hands are trembling now. Her coat sleeve is soaked in coffee. She's not sure if her throat is burning because of the heat or because she just saw him holding someone else's hand. She sits down, hard, too fast. The bench creaks, the air feels tight around her ribs. She's spiraling, fast. The tears come sharp and sudden. Her breath starts to hitch. She is trying to count her fingers, to ground herself. not to fall apart in public. But the panic doesn't care. It wraps around her lungs, squeezes. Her vision blurs. The last thing she sees before she closes her eyes is the shape of him, through tears, through blur, through disbelief, crossing the street. She doesn't notice the sound of his boots on the pavement. She doesn't hear him calling her name the first time. But then he's there, crouching in front of her. Hands hovering, not touching, just there. Hey. She shakes her head. She can't speak. She's embarrassed, furious, and undone. But he's already dropped everything. He doesn't ask questions, doesn't demand explanations. He just says gently, "Can I hold you?" And she nods, barely, but enough. His arms are around her in a second, tight, warm, safe. She collapses into him, like her body's been waiting for this soft permission to break. She sobs, loud, ugly, and he doesn't flinch. He just presses his lips to her hair and whispers, "I've got you. It's okay. I've got you." He stays like that, holding, rocking, his coat soaking up her pain. The street noise fades, the panic softens, her breathing evens out, bit by bit. She pulls back just slightly, eyes puffy, mouth trembling, and all she can manage is, "I thought you were with her." He shakes his head. "No, she's a friend, that's all." She nods, trying to believe it, but everything is raw. And then he says, "I saw you spill the coffee, and I knew it wasn't over for you either." She looks up, and this time she doesn't run. She stays right there in the middle of the mess with the only person who ever made it feel okay to fall apart. She's still in his arms. The bench feels too small for the weight of what she's about to say. But the space between them, it's wide open. She pulls back again, just enough to see him. His eyes are locked on hers, soft, worried, waiting. And her voice shakes, but it rises. "I buried my feelings for you since day one." He blinks, startled, but doesn't speak, and she keeps going. "I told myself it was too much, too soon, too intense, and instead of saying it, instead of letting myself have it, I shoved it down every day, over and over, until it started leaking out in all the ways I didn't mean to." Her voice cracks. She presses her hand to her chest again. "And seeing you today, even just pressing her hand like that, it triggered a full-on panic attack. Because my whole body has been aching with your absence, and I couldn't bury it any longer." She laughs, bittersweet and breathless. One more sad playlist, one more old photo, one more memory of the way you looked at me when you thought I didn't care, and I would have burst either way. He watches her. Something breaks in his face, not in anger, but in recognition. And she finishes quieter now. "She didn't cause it. Your friend, she just intensified the fall I'd already been standing on the edge for weeks." Then silence, real, alive, and he reaches up, thumb brushing away the tears she didn't even notice were falling. "I've been aching too," he says. "I just didn't think you'd ever say any of that out loud." She nods, barely. "Me neither." And then he says, "Come home with me." Not as a question, not as a fix, just a place for her body, for her grief, for her truth, and this time she follows. The walk back was quiet, not awkward, just necessary. Each step slower than the last, like neither of them wanted to break the fragile hush hanging between their bodies. They arrive. Inside, lights are low, shoes kicked off, and he moves around the kitchen like he's not sure what to do with his hands. She sits at the edge of the couch, still in his sweater from months ago, knees tucked up under her chin. The kettle clicks, steam rises. He pours 2 mugs of tea, one the way she always takes it, and the other for himself. He didn't forget. He sets hers down gently in front of her, then sits beside her, far enough not to crowd, close enough to catch her if she tips again. She wraps her hands around the mug, breathes it in, lets it ground her, and then they both just sit. 2 people holding warm cups and heavy hearts, letting silence work like balm instead of punishment. After a while, he speaks. "I didn't know if I'd ever see you again." His voice is soft, careful. I tried to move on, tried to tell myself you didn't care like I did, but today, and he shakes his head, today reminded me that I was never alone in it. I was just waiting. She swallows hard, looks down at her tea, then back at him. I think I needed to break, to stop pretending I didn't feel everything all at once. "I'm still scared." He nods and says, "I am too." And that's when the air shifts, because it's not a declaration, not a confession, just shared breath. He reaches out, slowly, and brushes her hand with his. She says, "You recognize this sweater?" He turns to her, smiles a little, almost sheepish. "I do." She nods, looks down again, then back at him, really this time. "I don't know what I've been doing the last 3 months. I kept telling myself I was fine, that if I just kept moving, kept working, kept pretending, it would go away." She pauses. He doesn't interrupt. "And somehow, I was able to hide just how much I care for you, how much I always have. But today showed me how wrong I was. The second I saw you, it was like my body remembered everything I tried to forget. And it hurt because I realized I pushed away the one thing that actually felt real." His eyes haven't left her. She presses her palm flat against her chest again. Not for panic this time, for presence. "I should have known better, but I was scared and I let that fear make decisions for me." She swallows hard. "I'm sorry. I'm not perfect, but I'm here now and I'm not hiding anymore." Silence again, but this time it hums with softness. He sets his mug down, turns to face her completely. Then he says, low and steady, "You're wearing the sweater. You're here. And you said it." He reaches for her hand again, slower this time, like the rhythm has changed. "So now," he says, "we start from here." The air between them shifts, thicker now, electric and alive. She takes a breath, one of those deep, chest-clearing breaths that come right before the truth that's waited too long. Her voice is quiet, but it lands like a vow. "I love you." His hand stills. "I wish I would have told you that before you left. I should have, but I didn't, and I can't go back." Her eyes are wet again, but her voice doesn't waver. "I love you deeply, wholeheartedly, and since you've been gone, I've loved you achingly too." His breath catches, visibly. She leans in closer. Her heart is wide open now, raw and luminous and ready. I don't ever want to feel life without you again. Not because I need you to fix me, but because life with you, even when it's hard, it feels like the first time I've truly lived. He doesn't move right away. He just stares at her like she's the one thing in the room he never believed he'd get back. Then he exhales, his eyes fill, he presses her hand to his mouth, like he can't speak without kissing something first. And then he says, I love you too. More than I know how to hold sometimes, but I will learn if you let me. I used to wonder, he begins, voice thick, if maybe I was the only one feeling it that deeply, if I'd made it up, if I'd read too much into your silence, your distance. His thumb brushes across her hand, absent-minded, anchoring. But even when you pulled away, there was this part of me, this stubborn part, that couldn't stop believing in you, in us. He swallows. You didn't scare me. Not the real you, not even the closed parts. What scared me was the idea of spending my life loving you from the outside door. He leans forward now, so close their foreheads nearly touch. I've known for a long time that I love you. And not the easy flowers on Wednesday kind of love, the gritty, hold you through the storms, remind you who you are when you forget kind of love. He looks into her eyes now. And I'll take every version of you, the brave, the guarded, the mess, as long as you let me in. He squeezes her hand, gentle but certain. You don't have to earn this. You never did. You just had to let me see you. And now that I do, I'm not going anywhere. Her heart is throbbing, but her voice doesn't shake this time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made you doubt yourself, doubt us. He tries to speak, but she gently holds up her hand. Not yet. You were right all along, and I made you feel like an idiot for believing in something that was real. I saw it too. I just couldn't say it yet. Her throat tightens, but she pushes through. It's been messy, and I'm sorry about that, but if I have to spend the rest of my life making it up to you, proving with my actions that I'm all in, then that would be the perfect life to me, as long as you're by my side. Silence, and then he pulls in a slow breath and says quietly, You don't have to make it up to me. You just have to let me love you. That's all I ever wanted. She blinks hard. Something inside her gives, and then she laughs, soft, aching, real, looks down at the old sweater hanging off her frame. This sweater, she murmurs, tugging at the sleeves, is not enough. She looks at him again, eyes wide, asking, begging. I need your arms wrapped around me. I need you. Will you have me back? He doesn't wait a beat, not a breath. He pulls her in all the way, wraps his arms around her like he never wants to let go again, like she's already home. His voice is low, right against her ear. I never stopped having you. She melts into him, and this time she doesn't resist it. She doesn't flinch. She lets herself stay. And now, finally, it's not about what was lost. It's about what you were brave enough to claim. And this time, she doesn't resist. She doesn't flinch. She lets herself stay. And now, finally, it's not about what was lost. It's about what she was brave enough to reclaim. And then she shifts, slowly, intentionally. She moves onto his lap, legs sliding on either side of him, eyes never leaving his. His hands don't stop her. He just watches, like She's the most fragile, most powerful thing he's ever seen. She cradles his face with her hands, thumbs brushing over cheekbones damp with the same tears. They're now both shedding. "I'm right here," she whispers, as much for him as for herself, and then she kisses him, not soft, not careful, not cautious like before. This one is deep. She pours everything into it, every word she couldn't say, every morning she missed him, every song that felt too close, every ache she buried beneath the strength. His hands grip her waist, his lips press back like he's starving for the taste of her truth. They both cry into it, not from pain now, but from relief. The kind of crying that says, "You didn't lose this, you earned this." They pull back only for breath. His forehead presses against hers again, their noses brushing. His voice cracks. "I missed you every damn day." And hers trembling. "I missed me too, the version of me I only am when I'm with you." They pause for a while. She's still straddling him, his arms still around her waist. Both of them tear-streaked, breathless, and somehow more whole than they've ever been. The kiss still lingers on their lips. So does the ache, but now it's softer, integrated, loved. His voice comes first, low, ragged in the most beautiful way. "I thought I lost you." She shakes her head, just enough for their noses to brush again. "You didn't. You couldn't. Even when I was gone, you were the one place my heart never left." He closes his eyes, inhales slow, like he's memorizing this moment, carving it into his bones. Then he opens them, and his gaze is steady now, clear. "I used to dream about this," he says softly. "Not the kiss, not even the I love you, just this." He places his palm flat against her chest. "This version of you, open, here, real." She wraps her fingers around his hand, holds it there. Then she speaks, quiet but honest. "I used to write about you, before I even knew your name. I wrote poems about someone who'd stay, who wouldn't make me shrink to be held, someone I didn't have to chase because he'd just find me." She pauses. "And then you did, and I almost ruined it, but I'm here now." He nods once, slow, certain. "I don't want a version of my life that doesn't include you, so yeah, I want you. Messy, brilliant, and brave." Their lips meet again, not desperate now, just true. And when she finally slides off his lap and curls into him on the couch, they both sit there, quiet, no music, no need, just a low hum of breath and recovery. Her head on his chest, his hand tracing slow circles on her back. Whispered nothings pass between kisses to her forehead, and when they finally fall asleep, tangled up in each other, it's not because they're tired, it's because they're safe. A couple of hours later, his point of view, same couch, same glow. She shifts on my side, sits up, and I know something's coming. Not anger, not fear, something true. Her hands cradle my face, warm, certain, and then she says it. "What you had in the last 24 hours is what you will have for as long as you stay." I swear my heart forgets how to beat for a second, and she keeps going. "The love, the half-bad cooking, the stupid playlists, the way I laugh too loud when I'm tired." I nod because I know that laugh, but she continues. "The easiness, the fucking sex." God, the way she says it. Not to tease, not to seduce, just give it. You can have all of it. There's no guard up anymore. There's no more hiding. And for a second, I forget to breathe. And her eyes, they're glowing in this way that makes me want to drop to my knees. And then she delivers the final blow, the softest one of all. I'm not intending to go anywhere without you, because I'm so fucking in love with you. And then she lifts her finger, taps it against the tip of my nose, and she says, full stop. And I lose it, not with tears, with laughter, because what the hell else do you do when the woman of your literal fucking dreams, the one you waited for your whole damn life, tells you that she's done waiting too? I pull her into me, bury my face in her neck, and say against her skin, I've never been loved like this. And she whispers, you will be now. And I believe her. Full stop.